Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Janabalava Girivaradhari. Gopi Janabalava Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivakatira Sarasisi Srimad Divine Grace Srila Asa Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivakatira Sarasisi Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, all together please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Steta bhūtale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Setam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Dharta Kṛṣṇa Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Tina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary, Srila Prabhupada. Today, chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, and today's verse is number 26. Please repeat. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. Vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. Mam tu veda na kaścana vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. So word for word, please repeat. Veda, no. Aham, I. Samatītāni, completely past. Vartamānāni, present. Cha, and. Arjuna, O Arjuna. Bhaviṣyāṇi, future. Cha, also. Bhūtāni, all living entities. Mam, me. Tu, but. Veda, knows. Na, not, kaścana, anyone. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Please repeat. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. That's Kṛṣṇa. Right, purport, Srila Prabhupada. Here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. If Kṛṣṇa, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were māyā, material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Anyone with a material body cannot remember his past life, nor can he foretell his future life, nor can he predict the outcome of his present life. Therefore, he cannot know what is happening in past, present, and future. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future. Unlike the ordinary human being, Lord Kṛṣṇa clearly says that he completely knows what happened in the past, what is happening in the present, and what will happen in the future. In the 4th chapter, we have seen that Lord Kṛṣṇa remembers instructing vivāṣyāṇi, the sun god, millions of years ago. Kṛṣṇa knows every living entity because he is situated in every living entity's heart as the supersoul. But despite his presence in every living entity as the supersoul and his presence as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the less intelligent, even if able to realize the impersonal Brahman, cannot realize Sri Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Person. Certainly, the transcendental body of Sri Kṛṣṇa is not perishable. He is just like the sun, and the māyā is like a cloud. In the material world, we can see that there is the sun and that there are clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all these in the sky temporarily, but this covering is only apparent to our limited vision. The sun, the moon, and stars are not actually covered. Similarly, māyā cannot cover the Supreme Lord. By his internal potency, he is not manifest to the less intelligent class of men. As it is stated in the 3rd verse of this chapter, out of millions and millions of men, some try to become perfect in this human form of life, and out of thousands and thousands of such perfected men, hardly one can understand what Lord Kṛṣṇa is. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa, without being in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Yes. So, Mukam krochi vachalam phangam naitegarim yad kripa tamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi bhūtāni mam tu veda na kaścana. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that happened in the past, and all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Yes. So this is Kṛṣṇa making remarkable assertion. And you will only find this in the Vedas, where somebody steps forward and says, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? In the tribal religions that are spread throughout Kali Yuga, you will find many people that God is Like we said, there's three alternatives to Sri Krishna generally. There is the impersonalistic idea, I am God. Right? Because we're looking for God, I am God. Second one is that some material phenomena, like a huge mountain or a fire or the sun or another person or the king, he is God. And then there is the third idea, born out of ignorance, and that is that everything is God. There is the God of the trees, the God of the valley, the God of the mountaintop, where everything is God. So there is Bhagavan, Bhakta, Bhakti, and Bhava. So they all share the same root, Bhaga. Bhaga means opulence. So Krishna is Bhagavan because he has all opulence, right? In his form, the face is the manifestation of the opulence of beauty. The left arm is renunciation. The right arm is virya, strength. The torso is opulence, wealth, ability. Left leg manifests or represents fame. And the right leg, Krishna stands on his right leg, that is knowledge. So fame, everyone has heard of the Supreme Lord. They may not know, they may speculate that I am God, or we are God, or God is impersonal, or God is some demigod, or some phenomena from the material world, or God, everything is God. They may speculate in this way. But the concept of God, they can very easily grasp. Even a child, when it's 4 or 5 years old, the mother says, God made the universe. And the child will say, really? He will kind of understand almost automatically, right? Isn't it a fact? God is the creator. I come from a large family, 8 children. So I'm the second eldest, just like Kṛṣṇa. Krishna's second eldest. So when I was about 8, my mother came to me and she said, we're going to have another baby. So I was about 8, or I don't know exactly. So I said to my mother, really? Where do babies come from? Right? You know, where they're coming every 2 years. My friends, they don't have babies or brothers and sisters every 2-3 years. So my mother said to me, well, when you're married, God knows that you want babies, so he sends them. So, really? But the point is, God is a concept that we can all very easily understand, is it not? Some supreme controller, some supreme creator who is somehow in the clouds or in some transcendental or location, and he is controlling everything. So that is Bhagavan. He's the most famous person. But here he's explaining, I have the knowledge, like we said, Krishna stands on it, the right leg also. I know everything in the past, present and future. So just imagine that. That's a few words, but if we contemplate, that is an amazing thing, right? Is it not? We may know what's going on in this room superficially, but Krishna knows what's going on in every single room, in every single building, in India, the rest of the world, the rest of the planetary systems, in all the universes. He knows everything that's going on in Durgadham, in Maheshdham, in Haridham, in Golok. He knows everything. Of course, here he's referring to the material time factor. So we can see, and also from the context, he's talking about within the material world. But me, nobody knows. I know everything. So the devotee, though, Bhagavan, Bhakti, through Bhakti knows the Supreme Lord. So Kṛṣṇa in the previous verse, Naham prakasya sarvasya, I'm never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. He's talking about the ignorance of the conditioned souls. Kṛṣṇa is not manifest to them. They don't know him, so they speculate that he's a big demigod, a natural phenomena, everything's God, I'm God. This is, in Sanskrit, this is, in the Vedas, this is called paśyāṇi. Paśyāṇi. It means somebody who has the wrong conception or a non-Vedic conception of the Supreme Lord. They believe in God, but they think that they fill in the gaps. So only in the Bhagavad Gita, only in the Vedas, only in the Puranas do we find such a detail. And only do we find such a personality that comes forward and say that I am that Supreme Lord and I know everything. But the materially conditioned souls, under the time factor, they don't know me. Why? Because there is Bhagavan, there is Bhakti and Bhava, but then there is Bhavarog. Bhavarog means the material disease, the material consciousness, which is very low. Why? Because the object of meditation for those with Bhavarog is to exploit the material energy. They're focused on the dull material energy. Whereas the Bhakta, he is focused on Bhagavan, the Ishvara, the source, the reservoir of all pleasure. So he is enlightened. Bhaktyamam abhijananti. He knows Kṛṣṇa. Of course, Kṛṣṇa is unlimited, but he is realizing Kṛṣṇa eternally. And we see in the Shastra that Kṛṣṇa says, I want to understand the mood of Radharani, so I come as Lord Chaitanya. I want to know what Radharani sees in me that is so attractive. And I want to feel that ecstasy when she meditates upon me. So Kṛṣṇa himself is also learning about himself. Sometimes in the material world, impersonal material world, the energy is impersonal, so we think a very logical, analytical way. But actually the natural state of the consciousness is ecstatic divine love. And that ecstatic divine love, knowledge and realization is a component automatically. And that ecstasy supplies realization of the Supreme Lord and our relationship with him. Now in this modern, in Kali Yuga, everyone is trying to understand modern psychology. Oh, he said this because of that, and he's doing this because when he was 8 years old, this happened, and this. It's all mental. And they go more and more mental every day, right? And the psychiatrist charges them $500 an hour and then sells them pills that shrink their brain and make them zombies. But actually, the true state of consciousness is not some logical analysis. It is a state of ecstasy. Just a material example, just like the mother. She has a child, an infant. So she loves the child. So through love, she knows the child. She doesn't go to a psychology class and think, the baby's crying, why? I wonder what the reason the baby's crying. No? She responds through love. She understands. So Uddhava, he was sent by Kṛṣṇa to send a message, right? It's 11th canto, to send a message to the gopis in Vrindavan. And also Kṛṣṇa had a plan. He wanted Uddhava, who was his great devotee, to see the depth of devotion of the Brijvasis. So he took the message to Vrindavan, and they saw Uddhava. Who is this? It looks a little like Kṛṣṇa. Who is it? And then he came, and he came into Vrindavan. Kṛṣṇa was already in Dwarka, and he saw that everyone, and the gopis and everyone was completely devastated. Where is, when is Kṛṣṇa coming back? And so on and so forth. So he saw that this is this state of divine ecstasy in separation. This is the highest aspiration. At the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Queen Kunti, she has many prayers, and she's saying things like, well, you are very mysterious. We see the Pandavas, they're troubled, but Duryodhana is in the palace, and you are doing this, and you are appearing in this family, but you are the Supreme Lord. All this is very mysterious. So Prabhupada explains one purport. He says the Queen Kunti at the beginning of the Bhagavatam is explaining the mentality of a aspirant devotee, is trying to understand the Supreme Lord, trying to get, because Krishna's Leela is very mysterious. Like I say, the Bhagavatam, the Mahabharata, Krishna says, here I am, I'm God. But many people will say, well, I believe in God, but I'm not sure Krishna's God. All right? Kṛṣṇa, maybe he's an artistic representation. Maybe he's a poetic composition. How is he the Supreme Lord? Look at him. He's driving a chariot. Duryodhana is chastising him. He's fighting on the battlefield. Is that something God does? God should be in the clouds. So, that is what's meant by, Prabhupada mentioned in the Purport, out of many, many thousands of people, they may endeavor for perfection, but very few know me in truth. Kṛṣṇa is saying here that those that are covered by the time factor, they don't know me. Me, no one knows in the material world. What's that? Vyaktim apane manyate mam abudhaya param bhava magyananto mata mama bhūta maheshwaram. Many, many people, they look at me and they think, oh, he's got a manifest form. They do not know my higher nature, which is changeless and supreme. So, through Veda, through Acharya, Mahajana Katasvapanta, through bona fide realized Vaishnav Guru, we get the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. And that mercy of Kṛṣṇa is manifest as realization of Kṛṣṇa. We realize. And the example, now there are many things in the Vedas, like Arjuna in the after the Virat Rupa manifestation, he says, you are Param Brahma Pram Dhamma. You are the supreme abode. You are the supreme purifier. You are the supreme shelter. All this is said by Asita, Devala, Vyas. All the great sages say about that. And now I am seeing for myself. This is a very key point. So in 11th canto, there in the Uddhava Gita, it's explained there. Prabhupada gives in the purport. He says, how do we know that Kṛṣṇa is God? Ultimately, it may be saying, Kṛṣṇa is God. He may be saying he's God. Mahabharata, Asita, Deva, Valayas, all the great sages are saying he's God. How do we know? So Prabhupada explains, on the basis of what's there in the Uddhava Gita, he explains that just like when you're hungry, you're tired, and you need refreshment, so you go to the restaurant, you have a nice meal, and from the nice meal, you experience your hunger goes away, you get energy, and you get a sense of satisfaction. So he says, from true spiritual life, you empirically, because this is very interesting, usually we say we have to listen to the authorities, Vedas, Acharyas, bona fide guru. We have to listen to their message. That's correct. But also in the Uddhava Gita it is said that the devotee will empirically realize the truth of Kṛṣṇa as Bhagavan. He will do that because as he chants, as he studies the Vedas, as he performs austerities like a Kadaji, as he sato vrite, he takes up a pure life, as he follows rules and regulations, and as he prays to Kṛṣṇa with a pure heart, oh Kṛṣṇa, reveal yourself, then Kṛṣṇa. Atakshri Kṛṣṇa namadi na bhaved grayam indreyai sevan mukhe jivado swayameva spurat. Spurat means it's manifest, spontaneous, within the heart. It's not a mental thing, you must have faith and then you'll go to heaven. No, in yoga, in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, in bona fide religious system, you personally experience the Supreme Lord. Through Shravanam, you get realization. You hear a good devotee, oh, I'm realizing. You kirtan, you're doing kirtan. Kirtan actually means to describe, but you talk about Kṛṣṇa, you get realization, you get a boost. When I talk about Kṛṣṇa, I get realization. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Now, in the morning you wake up, you do a little Smaranam on Kṛṣṇa in Golok. By the side of the Jamuna. You do Smaranam, and in your heart you feel happiness. And then Padasevanam, you do some service like the Matajis. They're doing the garland. They're feeling rasa. They're thinking, oh, this is for Kṛṣṇa. I'm very happy. Archanam, you worship the deity in the mood of service. You think, yes. Vandanam, Dasyam, I am the servant of the Lord. Sakyam, he's my best friend. Let me surrender everything to him. Atmani Vedanam. So this is bona fide religion. And this is why Kṛṣṇa and Bhagavad Gita for 5,000 years has been unchanged. The system, just like Prabhupada quotes in the 4th chapter, evam para praptam imam raja shayo vidu sakalena mahatat yoga nasta parantapa. I have told this to the kings in the past. This same science. What is that science? That instead of trying to enjoy this material world, we should perform pious activities, perform our duties as an offering to the Supreme Lord. And that can be done by the king, that can be done by the rickshawwala. That can be done by anyone, because we all have to perform some activities. So let's do pure activities and offer it to the Supreme Lord. That is the science of Bhagavad Gita. That is the basis. Yad karosi yadadnasi yadadadash. Right? Everything you do, offer, give away, do it as an offering to Kṛṣṇa. Don't do it for some personal thing. This is the science. So if somebody does that, Kṛṣṇa reveals himself. And then you know Kṛṣṇa. Then you become nishtha. You become fixed in your endeavor. And more you realize your swarup, your eternal relationship with Kṛṣṇa. By his grace. Yetam mam prapadyante. What does he say? Samaham sarvabhuteshu na dveshi na priya. I'm equal to everyone. I don't hate anyone. I don't disregard anyone. I don't have favorites. But one who renders service to me, he is a friend to me, and I am a friend to him. So that is the experience of the devotee. Right? I see many devotees going, yes, that's correct. Some are going to sleep, but good. But anyway, I heard that before. Oh, he's agreeing anyway when he's asleep. That is the potency of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So the thing is, right, that is why we are chanting. That's why we love to see the deities. That's why we come to class, because we get a little taste. We experience Kṛṣṇa personally in the heart. And we know, oh, I'm dear to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is dear to me and I'm dear to him. We have that realization. And eternally we progress in that way. So, that is when Uddhava saw Radharani and the gopis, and Radharani, there's a great section of the Bhagavatam where it talks to the bumblebee. You know, bumblebee is dark, bluish. Oh, who are you, the bumblebee? You're an unkind, you have no faithfulness. It's a secret hint to Uddhava. But Uddhava is over, he sees that this is the real consciousness, this ecstatic divine love. And within that, Kṛṣṇa is revealed. Within that, our relationship with Kṛṣṇa is revealed. Within that, the understanding of reality is revealed. And yet, at the same time, our philosophy is what? Achincha bed abed. Achincha means beyond material calculation. It is not something you can put in a test tube, analyze, or psychologically evaluate. It is beyond. So how is it understood? Through bhava. Bhagavan, bhakti, bhakta, bhava, Bhagavan, bhakta, bhakti, bhava. You read that in the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada explaining the writing of Rupa Goswami says, through bhava bhakti, first is Vaidhi, then Rag Bhakti, then Bhava Bhakti, then Prem. Through Bhava Bhakti, real direct realization of the Supreme Lord takes place within the consciousness of the devotee. So, and there are writings by acharyas that trying to get this bhava, so many great souls, like Prabhupada said, out of many thousands, manushanam sahasreshu kaścid yatadik siddhaye, they achieve some liberated state. They're no longer attached to māyā Shakti, but they don't know Kṛṣṇa. Because Kṛṣṇa is understood by bhava, ecstasy. Krishna's lila is a display of ecstasy. Goloka Vrindavan is a display of Krishna's creative ecstasy. And all the devotees are contributing in their ecstasy to create Golok Vrindavan. And this is the eternal highest realm of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to enter that realm, you have to become ecstatic. And therefore a devotee who has attained a little bit of bhava, after the end of this life he will take birth in the Bhoma Lila, where Krishna's pastimes are manifest in one of the material universes. And there, in the association of the Nitya Siddhas, the Ragatmika, the leaders of different ragas, his bhava will come to full fruition. And then he'll become an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord in his Swarup. That is Swarup Siddhi. And then Vastu Siddhi is beyond that. Vastu Siddhi means that the material body, the material mind is completely dissolved back into the Mahatattva. And that soul now lives in his spiritual Swarup. And in that Swarup, enlightenment, knowledge of Kṛṣṇa, knowledge of reality, eternality is there. But that in itself is just a component. The real knowledge is just like material example, the mother loves the baby, so she understands the baby through love. So all the devotees, Srimati Radharani, Uddhava saw, they love Kṛṣṇa. They're completely engrossed in Kṛṣṇa. They have no other subject matter because of their ecstasy. And he felt very humbled before them to see their ecstasy. He felt, I've entered this realm of Vrindavan, this realm of ecstasy, of transcendental divine love, but I'm just a minister from Dwarka. So of course, that is the devotee. That is the devotee. He is always humble and gentle and modest in his heart. But of course, Uddhava, it's in the Shastra, it says that of all the Yadavas, the Pandavas were the most advanced. But more advanced than the Pandavas was Queen Kunti. But more advanced than Queen Kunti was Uddhava. So Uddhava then saw that there is no higher devotional ecstasy than that of the Goloka Vrindavan Vasis. And so Kṛṣṇa. And then in the Uddhava Gita he said, now, our Uddhava, if you want to attain this, you have to see my presence in all living entities. You must pay obeisances to the hogs, dogs, camel and ass. You must be humble. You must see that everybody is part and parcel of me, and you must give respect to everyone. And in this way, you will be cured of bhavarog. Bhavarog is matsarya. When we see that everyone is the emanation, the creation of Kṛṣṇa, then we lose matsarya. Love me, love my dog. So if you love all the living entities, of course you don't embrace a snake, but you see everything in relationship to Kṛṣṇa, then Kṛṣṇa becomes revealed. And then you become a sadhu. You become free of matsarya, the bhavarok, the desire to exploit, to criticize, to be nasty. You become the sadhu. Vaishnava, what is it? Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha. The Vaishnava, the sadhu, his heart is full of kripa. The manifestation of the kripa aspect of Kṛṣṇa. Just like Prabhupada. So, and that kripa is to give people the knowledge from Shastra, from Acharya, from Guru, how to practice bhakti properly. To come out of this material attachment and how to become attached to Parameshvara Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So any question? Yes? Queen Kunti. What? Explain what? Well, that's the statement of the Acharyas. We can start with that. And he was the intimate friend. So that's the statement of Shastra. If you read the Bhagavatam and you realize that, you will see that Kṛṣṇa would even, in his management in Dwarka, he would even take advice from his minister Uddhava. So you can imagine how intimate they were. The Pandavas also. Out of the Pandavas, Arjuna was considered the most advanced of the five, then Queen Kunti, then Uddhava. So those things are given for our understanding. But Uddhava was the intimate, constant companion of Kṛṣṇa. That's the statement of the Shastra. So you can read about his Leela and contemplate about his intimacy, and you will see it for yourself. Yes? Yes, they all know that. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a bit like Arjuna. That's a very good point. Just like Arjuna, after he saw the universal form, then he thought, oh my God, I thought you were just my friend. And I used to laugh and joke with you. But now I see that you are the Supreme Lord of past, present and future, unlimited potency. And I've taken you as a friend. So he was like shocked. So Uddhava, he's giving advice to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa's saying, oh, we've got a problem on the border there, Uddhava. What do you think we should do? So Uddhava is saying, well, Kṛṣṇa, I think we should do this, we should pass this, we should make a deal with this and that. And Kṛṣṇa is saying, thank you, Uddhava. But then when he's going to Vrindavan, he's seeing, oh my God, I'm treating Kṛṣṇa as my companion in the state house, but he was getting realization of Kṛṣṇa, Golok, Vrajvasi Kṛṣṇa. He was seeing that he was not relating to Kṛṣṇa on the level of the Vrajavasis. And that is the special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why he's Namo Mahavadanyaya, because he is revealing the status of the Vrajavasis. You understand? Because many people, they may read the Bhagavatam and they think, oh, the Vrajavasis, they were village girls and they were dancing with Kṛṣṇa. But the real Kṛṣṇa is on the battlefield. The real Kṛṣṇa is in Kurukshetra, in Dwarka. The real Kṛṣṇa is killing Jarasandha. You know, they may think like that. But, so, through the six Goswamis, they expanded the Shikshastakam, the 8 prayers, Jetadapanamarjan. They expanded through their writings, and particularly their mission, and not only 6 Goswamis, but Narottam Das and all the great devotees, they were to bring forward, even in the midst of Kali Yuga, the highest realm of the Supreme, the highest abode. It's in the Bhagavad, it's even in the Brahma Samhita, right? Golokla namni nididamni taleta tasya devi maheshu haridameshu teshu teju te te pravava nitya vihitashti yena govindamadi purisham tamaham bhajami. Lowest of all is Durgadam. Next above that is Maheshdam. Next is Haridam. Then Golok. I worship the Supreme Lord Hari, Govinda, who has allotted the respective authority to the rulers of those graded realms. So yes, there is distinction. So the Goloka Leela of Kṛṣṇa with Radha, the Astashakis, the cowherd boys, that is the highest expression. And so they establish that as our meditation, as our aspiration, even in the midst of Kali Yuga, right? And they gave very simple method. Read the Bhagavatam and chant Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But it must be chanted with aspiration. You understand? We're giving up material desire, but we're desiring to go to Golok. We're desiring to enter the Leela. Hare Krishna means, oh Radha, oh Krishna, please engage me in your service. We're not just making a sound, we're actually reciting a request. when we sing, Amoraye abilas, vilas kunjadio vas. What are we saying? This is my desire. I want to enter into the Golok Leela. So we should remember that. Instead of desiring in this material bhuvarog, we desire in the bhavarog, bhav. I want to get bhava so I can realize Kṛṣṇa. I want to develop bhava because I'll be a better servant of my spiritual master. So we must have aspiration. That is impersonality. Prabhupada talks about impersonality. The impersonalists think, oh, I've got to stop desire. You know, the Buddhists say, I'm suffering because of desire. So if I stop desiring, I'll stop suffering. It's not very positive, is it? You're not going to have much fun with such a philosophy. We say, no, stop desiring materially and desire your relationship with Bhagavan. Let's see if I can get it right. Bhagavan, Bhakta, Bhava. Is that right? No, Bhakti, Bhava. So, they're all interrelated. So we can realize, na kaścana veda, no one knows. But just imagine, Kṛṣṇa is saying, Bahunam, out of many thousands, they attain liberation, and out of those, hardly one knows me in truth. So now we have a great chance, right? Somehow or other, we're in Vrindavan Dham. We have Prabhupada's beautiful deities. We have Tulsi. We have Prabhupada's wonderful books. We have Sadhu Sangha. So we can be one of those people that know Kṛṣṇa in tattva, in truth. And how? Simply, please, reveal yourself. Right? That's it. You don't have to be intelligent or even very austere. You just have to be sincere. It was chastising the bumblebee also. Read the purport. Get the book tonight. Read it tonight before you go to bed. Well, no, I think you may be talking about Shishupal. Well, he was always saying something bad. I don't know if he was saying that, but Shishupal at the Rajasuya sacrifice, right? He said, who is this Kṛṣṇa? Nobody knows if he's a cowherd boy or if he's a kshatriya, if he's a philosopher or a fighter. Oh yeah, in the Mahabharata, yeah. Kṛṣṇa went to the court of Duryodhana and he said, he tried to stop the war. Then Duryodhana tried to time. And then there was Kṛṣṇa expanded himself. There's a semi-manifestation of his expanded form. But still Duryodhana, you wouldn't accept Kṛṣṇa. Yeah. Yeah. So, because that is bhavarog, that is matsarya, you see. So service to the Mahatma, Mahatsevam dwaram aho vimuktes. By service to the Mahatma, you overcome bhavarog. You overcome matsarya. By being servant of the sadhu. That purifies the heart. Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.